Were you ever making a game or playing a game and got this feeling of emptiness, like something should have been there but is not? Well, usually the simplest solution is the first one, which is to add more stuff. And that's what I did. I added emotes and a new ability to my competitive multiplayer robot game. And also did a small but important refresh on other important things such as skin system and BattlePass system that you will be seeing in this devlog. Now, let's start off with emotes, shall we? First of all, an emote in this case is a custom animation that can be played in game by pressing this button, and can be selected and visualized from the main menu. This system is actually very simple. Every emote button is a prefab that gets spawned when you press the menu button. Then, it checks with the server to see if you have it unlocked, and if not, this lock icon appears on top of it. Then, when you press it to select it, it uses player prefs to store its ID and saves the ID to the server in order to retrieve it later when you are in a match, after which this icon appears to show you that selecting it was successfully completed. This is how the code looks like, and the same principle applies to skins and user icons. The BattlePass is not a new idea. Almost every multiplayer game in existence has one, and it works fairly simple. You have a variable that shows the number of XP, in this case, and depending on how big the value is, you get unlocked new rewards. I decided to work with 500 increments, meaning that to unlock the next reward, you would have to collect another 500 XP, which can be easily achieved based on the fact that you get 300 XP in the first place, but we'll talk about later about how qualification system works. The bottom layer of rewards is free. As long as you have enough XP, you just press on the button and done, you have your reward. The top layer, however, is a little bit different. Before getting your sweet 10 screws, you have to watch an ad, which was fairly easy to set it up thanks to Google AdMob. I also use the same principle on shop items, and now for certain rewards you can double collect it by watching an ad. So for any of those 167 people that watched this short when I said that I would be adding a new ability and this is gonna be pretty interesting, well, here it is. I'm first gonna explain how it works, and then I'm gonna show you what problems I encountered and the final result. This ability is a rocket ability. You press a button and a rocket spawns in the direction that your character was facing. This is very important because you still have to aim. Now, before the rocket is actually spawned, a raycast is done in order to see the trajectory of the rocket. At the point of where the raycast ended, about 120 meters, a sphere is created to check if there are any players, excluding yourself, in that area, and when it finds one, that player is pretty much done. As long as there aren't any obstacles blocking the rocket's path, it will continue to follow the player from the air until it hits him, which at that point the player gets teleported to the nearest island, or until it hits anything making the rocket explode. The rocket script was fairly easy to set up. As you can see in this clip, the rocket is following the yellow cube no matter where it goes. However, I can't say the same thing about the part where I would have to do this raycast, because there were some very slight problems with the target detection. After that, however, I read the documentation, yeah, I know, and boom, literally, it works flawlessly. Well, for now. This is the code for making the rocket move, and as you can see in update, if the target exists, the rocket will permanently look towards it. The next two lines just applies a rotation effect to the rocket and moves it towards the target. The collision handling is pretty self-explanatory, checking to see if it hit a player, and if that is the case, RPC player has been hit will be called. This is a custom function handled by Photon and ensures that it will be called on every client. There's just one more thing for this devlog, and that is qualification system. Now this is pretty interesting because you have to show two messages, as you've seen earlier. The first one for those who qualified, and the other one for everyone when the match has ended. That was easy to set up with just some RPCs, but there was one more thing that had to be done for those who were qualified. Spectate. I managed to achieve this by simply having a game object on all players that is like a handler for the camera. When you qualify, there is another camera in the scene that will cycle through all these handlers and follow every one of them with vector3.lerp, which gives this pretty interesting effect. That was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I feel that with every new devlog the game approaches more and more to its finished state, mainly because now all Cosmic Edition I need is assets. In the next devlog we would probably just gonna extend the map and add more skins. Or we would do AI, because if there aren't any players online, you still gotta play with someone, right?